For this week, I'm going to give you a tutorial of the Google Classroom, which is a learning management system that I used this past school year. It was the first time that I'd ever used it. It had started to become a thing at my high school. We have several teachers who went to a Google conference to learn about all the different things that Google is doing, all the different apps and things that are available for classes. And I would say this is the app that is most commonly used by teachers. It is to my knowledge that all of the English department are currently using Google Classroom. We as a math department have started implementing that into our classrooms. Some of the social studies teachers, and I'm sure many others, but those are the ones that stick out to me as far as teachers in our building that are currently using the app. So the number one thing here is how to get an account for Google Classroom, and that starts by having an education account through Gmail. So this is something that your school would have to set up ahead of time to get you an education Gmail. Without it, you can't even use Google Classroom because it's intended for teachers. So it's not for regular Gmail people. Okay. So the first thing there is you got to have an education Gmail account. Otherwise, you can't even use the app at all. Okay. And you can see here, I've created quite a few different classrooms. So, as mentioned, I was pretty active this school year trying to use it. So there's what we have. All right. So creating a class is the next thing here. So in order to create a class, once you have an account, you'll go to this little plus sign here. And you can either join a class if you have the code for it, or you can create a class. So for this tutorial, we're obviously going to create a brand new class. So let's go ahead and do that. You need a name for the class, so we'll call this Class 1000. And if you have multiple sections of this class, you can give it, Section 1 or Section 2. As you can see in the background here, the different colors that I've had assigned to the classes, including, what block they were, what semester they were. So you can do all those things to differentiate from class to class. So we're going to go ahead and create this. So this is what the class will look like. It's Class 1000, Section 1. I'm the teacher, Andrew Boss. Welcome to my class. So if you wanted to, you could start the tour and it would explain some of these things to you. Hopefully I do a decent job of basically doing the exact same thing. So some things you can do here, you can select the theme, upload a photo to make it unique and everything else. Over here, if there's a certain assignment that is due, students will be able to see it there on the side, so it's real easy to find it. And perhaps the number one thing for getting your class started is going to be right down here where the class code is. Because that's what the students need to join your class. We saw it just a little bit ago. I had the option to create a class or to join a class. And so the only thing your students can do is join a class. So if they want to join your class, they need to know the code that's associated with that class. So they would go ahead and type in that code, and then they would be a part of your class. You'd be able to see all these things, see the assignments you post, see the announcements, and everything else. So without that code, they cannot be a part of your class, which is one of the slight downfalls to this, in that parents can't see this. They have to access it through their child's account, which is once again why it's an advantage that your school become a Google school, so you can have access to this Google Classroom. Okay. So this is where you do everything, and as you can see the minute I go down to the plus sign there, that's how you see everything. So something as simple as an announcement, so something that you might want to say to your class, welcome to Class 1000. Hope to have a great semester. Okay. And I can attach some things if I wanted to from Google Drive, from YouTube, anything else I might want to do, and then I can just post that. Okay, so there it is. Welcome to Class 1000. Hope to have a great semester. Who posted it, which would be myself. What time did I post it? And then as time goes on, so tomorrow if we were to look at this, we would see that the post was from today at 7:27. So it would continue to show that, and as time went on, they would just show what day I posted as opposed to the time as well, because it would no longer be relevant to that. Okay, so there's an announcement. It's very easy to do. Just go to the plus sign. And then from here, we also have the option to edit it or delete it if for some reason you didn't want that announcement up there, or you wanted to change what it said, like say you had a typo, you could very easily edit it. If it wasn't the top message, you could also move it to the top. Okay. And then also you can add comments down here. This is where your students can add comments when they join your classroom. So there are a lot of options like that as you're moving forward. Okay. So we have creating an assignment, which once again, if you want to give the kids something to do, let's say this is, we'll call this life story, and write a one-page paper. If I could type about your life. Okay. And we can assign this, and I can change the due date to whenever, but we'll just leave it as tomorrow. And then you can also see here the due tomorrow life story. And then the nice thing about this is when students go into this, and they have the option to access this. So if I put like a worksheet assigned to this, if I attach something to it, they could then access it through that. But it also shows here, very important for the teacher, how many students have finished it and how many students haven't submitted the assignment yet. So I know that as time goes on and I'm looking to grade these things that are on the Google Classroom, I'm looking to see who's got it done and who didn't turn in anything. So I can just call a student up and say, hey, I never got your assignment turned in, so I need that as soon as possible. So it makes it really easy for me to know who's submitted something and who hasn't. And then from there I can grade it and go from there. So very nice. It's very friendly in that way that I can quickly see who still needs to finish an assignment and then give them the opportunity to do so. Alright, if I wanted to share a PDF file, so I can even go back into this assignment here and edit it. I'm going to actually upload a PDF for them to access. So we'll just say this is one of our things from this week. Okay. And then students can now view this file. So then if they wanted to view this PDF, they would bring this up here. And this is one of the assignments that I turned in for this class here. So they can very easily access this PDF, just like that. Okay. Sharing URL. I use this a lot when I was showing to my students how to access the online book that we have available. The easiest way to access our math book is through an online activity here. So here's the URL for the math book. So this would go right to the book that we use. So then students can go to high school and access our geometry book. Okay, that's what that's used for. So in order to upload this so that students can see it, well, you just need to copy it. And then I can go back to the class that I created for us, and I can add in an announcement. Here is the online book. I can upload that, and then I can just post that, and there it is. So very easy to upload a web address so that students can easily access something that you want them to access. As far as quizzes go, because this is associated with Google, you can upload anything that you created through your Google Drive. So it makes it really easy if you're trying to do a quick poll about something. So I can upload here a poll that I made. Please take this poll. Okay, I'm going to upload from Google Drive this item here. So let me find it. Here we go. Chapter 11 volume. So here's a poll that then students can take. So it's directly through Google Forms, which is once again how having all this Google stuff just works so well together. For already using Google things, Google Forms, Google Docs, things like that, it just makes sense to have the Google Classroom which works with all of those things. Even for students who are writing their life story, they can submit it through a Google Doc, which is great. It makes it so much easier. You know that you don't have to worry about it, them not saving it or them losing it. As long as they upload it on here, it's available for you, and you know exactly when editing took place and everything else. So it's really nice in that way. So please take the poll here, so students can then click on this, and now they can take this poll and go through it and then submit it to me, and then I know the exact results right away. So and then no response sheet has been created, obviously, because nobody's taken it yet. But as students would take this poll, I would start to see responses show up so I can see how this poll is taking place. So like I've mentioned before, I really like the Google Classroom, in that I feel like it's very useful to help me as a teacher upload certain things so that I can very easily grade them. For instance, we use a Geometry Sketchpad project that I have students do. So instead of printing out 50 to 70 20-page instructions, I can place it on the Google Classroom. Students can access it, and it makes it very easy for everybody to find it. So I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about anybody losing it. Okay? As I mentioned, it's already connected with other Google things, Google Forms, Google Docs. Okay? So it's very easy to manage between those different items. And like I've said, I like to use it to post my notes. So my students can access my notes that I do in class. So because I use the Smart Notebooks technology there, I can't have them access it at home, so without this they wouldn't be able to access it. So that is what I really enjoy about the Google Classroom. I think it's a great tool, and I think more teachers should be using it because there are a lot of benefits to it. And it is my understanding that it's going to continue to get better as Google continues to work with it and take advice from teachers. So thank you very much.